Welcome back to Breakfast Television, and we're talking today, Mom Talk, secondary infertility. It's a topic that a lot of people do not discuss, and if you're trying to give your first child a brother or a sister, and you're finding that conceiving can be really difficult, this is who we're talking about. We're talking about people who are having a very difficult time conceiving the second child. And here to talk to us about how to cope with that is Lisa Brookman, psychotherapist, and also wisewomencanada.com. So talk to us about what exactly secondary infertility is.
So I think when people have their first child or their second child, they feel like their fertility is really under their control. So then they plan to have a second, third, fourth child and with the same partner, and they're not able to conceive. And usually it's after about 12 consecutive months, it's considered a secondary infertility issue. So it's the inability to conceive after you've already had a child. Exactly.
And is this common? Like, what are the causes for this?
You know, it's quite common, very under discussed, because people think, oh, they have one child and, you know, they must just have decided to only have one. One of the main causes for it is, you know, fertility is unpredictable. So age plays a very important factor. So usually over the age of 35, we see more common cases of women dealing with secondary infertility, medical conditions. With men, it could be a change in their sperm. It could be really a combination of things. And sometimes it's actually undetected, so they can't figure out what the cause is, but it is still deemed secondary infertility.
Well, you're talking about low sperm count. You're talking about women having babies over 35, but then the challenges of that is that a lot more women are having babies in their 30s this day and age. And so what will we see more secondary infertility as the years progress?
You know, I was looking at some of the stats before where I came on today, and the stats are humongous. I mean, the numbers are, so it's 1 in 6 Canadian couples who are dealing with primary infertility.
Wow.
And then the next stat, and you know, it was hard to find something accurate, but it said something like 800,000 women are having difficulty conceiving their second child in Canada, which is a really big number.
It is a big number, but do you think that secondary infertility is emotionally difficult for people, even though they are? Because a lot of people will sit down and say, well, you already have a child, so what's the big deal that you can't have that second child?
You know, it's that shattered dream of having the plan of, you know, I'd like to have 3 children and I'd like to have them 2 years apart. And then, you know, like I said, the first child comes easily and you kind of think, okay, well, I have this. And then when you start trying for the second one, you almost feel like it's a fait accompli. You're going to just have that child. So it's a lot of disappointment. It's a shattered dream of having this big family. There's a lot of emotional distress.
And for outsiders looking in, you know, sometimes we could be so judgmental. Oh my gosh, she waited 10, 12 years to have her second child. You don't know what the difficulties were. So speaking of difficulties, when do you consult your doctor?
You know, they say for a woman under the age of 35, it should be after 12 consecutive months of trying to conceive. But actually for 35 and over, they say it's 6 months. Exactly. So there's a drastic change from that 34th year to the 35th year.
But big difference, not if you're trying initially. We're talking about people who've already given birth to a child.
Yes.
Now you're trying, it's been 6 months, you're 35 and over, consult your doctor.
Absolutely.
And if it's been more than 12 months and you're under 35, also consult your doctor.
And it's really important to consult the doctor, because, you know, sometimes people just keep trying for years and there could be something minor, and, you know, why waste the time trying and being emotionally distressed when you can see your doctor and maybe there's a kind of a medical quick fix that they can do.
And what can couples do at the end to cope with this? What happens if it's final and you know what, it's not going to happen? You're going to have that one child.
Well, I think communication is key, and I think partners discussing how they're feeling, how the secondary infertility is impacting them is very important. And then it's about acceptance and moving forward and enjoying the family of 3 and making plans and maybe just changing your frame of mind and saying, you know what, I'm going to embrace this because I have this beautiful, healthy child. But it's a long road, and emotionally, even though you have one child, that distress that puts on you, it's really emotionally taxing.
Absolutely. Well, Lisa Brookman, great advice, great information here for people who are struggling with secondary infertility, and a great article that you could get online at todaysparent.com. They have great information on secondary infertility, but don't forget to consult your doctor if it's been more than 6 months or 12 if you're under 35. Thank you.